Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie wave. Here we have Gwen Stacy. This is the final figure in the wave. There is one additional figure coming for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and that is the Deluxe Cyborg Spider-Woman, which I should have tomorrow. So just a heads up on these, they haven't gone up for sale anywhere. I think some sites ended up listing them and whatnot, but April 10th is the day. That is the street date. That's the day that all sites will be going live with them. I bet majority of sites will probably be in stock versus a pre-order. I'm sure some will still be a pre-order, but places like toysnowman.com, they will have them in stock come April 10th. They have started showing up at Walmart. I don't think they've shown up at any other retailer yet. You might find some local comic shops might have them, but Walmart's kind of the big retailer where people have been able to get their hands on them. Wink, wink. But here we have Spider-GWEN, Ghost Spider in the comics, or whatever she's called now. Supposed to be Spider-Woman in her universe, but this is Gwen Stacy. And this looks to be a brand new figure altogether. They didn't just like redo the one that we got in the Stiltman Build-A-Figure wave. It's a whole new head sculpt and everything like that. I'll take a look at the masks. I don't know if those are going to be the same. I have to find it and compare. But the head sculpts are definitely different, and the figures are completely different, whereas this one gets a all-new tooling and everything to kind of go along with it. I thought this was actually a pretty damn good one. But, you know, we have even more new here, so that'll be pretty cool. So looking at the package, of course, you got the old logo that says Part 1, because originally the movie was supposed to come out in October. It is now coming out in June 2023, so they did not get the updated logo to where the second movie is actually now going to be called Beyond the Spider-Verse. We have looked at all the figures in this wave. Spider-Gwen finishes it off. Sometime tomorrow or whatever, I will do the Deluxe Cyborg Spider-Woman, but for now, Gwen Stacy. Okay, so here is the Gwen figure out of the package, and so a couple of things that are scary. I went ahead and kind of switched the heads around and took a couple of pictures, so this head is a little bit of a pain in the ass to put on. Not that big of a deal, but it's very scary changing out the heads. Like, I've only done it once. I popped this head off, popped the other head on, popped that one off, and popped this one on. And I have to take this one off again because I forgot the damn hood piece to put on there so it looks funny. But I'm really scared I'm going to break the neck peg. And so when it comes time for me to switch the head out and put this hood back on, I'm going to show you guys. And it's very scary, and I really think I'm going to break mine, and that worries the hell out of me because that's not good, right? It should be strong enough to be able to swap these heads out if it includes another head, right? It should always be strong enough to do that. I don't know that it is. Then the other thing is, you know, the stylized look, and I know I've used the term stylized so many times throughout all these videos, but they are, right? The proportions on these things, the way that they're designed, super thin legs. She has the thinnest legs ever, like thinner than Miles Morales. And she's got small ass feet, like smaller than Miles's feet. Really, really tiny feet. I have her balanced now. But it took a little bit of time to get her balanced. She's gonna fall over a lot of times in, I think, people's collections because she just has like the smallest feet ever. So there's that. The figure itself looks pretty good. I don't think the head sculpt is as good as the previous one that we got. Not saying that this one's bad, it's just not as good in my opinion. I don't know if she looks maybe a little bit different in the movie, but even that first wave, you know, the Miles head sculpt wasn't the greatest. I thought that Gwen one, though, was really good. But this one, it just doesn't look as good to me. So let's go ahead and get in for the closer look and look at the details of the turquoise and pink paint, because that's done really nicely. And then, again, we'll look at that neck peg, and we'll look at the articulation and stuff. But, yeah, scary to kind of mess with this figure. So I'm just going to start it off with the head already removed. You can see kind of how it is, and like, oh, it's just really scary. It's held on. Maybe I'm just worrying for nothing, but you know how small it is, how thin it is, how large the ball peg is. I just feel like at any moment this could kind of work out. And then, you know, a lot of times when you get a head sculpt on, you want to pop it off, you just lean it real back. These parts on the side start to bow out. So it just scares me. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know, but it scares me. One funny thing is if you look at the peg hole for the mask, you have to force it in. Because it doesn't really, the size-wise, it doesn't go over the ball peg, so you have to force it a little bit. And then when you put the masked head sculpt with the hood on, see, it's all, like, funky. Look, I mean, Look, it's messing with it, and it's not even on properly or at all. It's like weird. Hold on. Man, I don't like it. Ah! Okay, well anyway, there it is. It's on there. I don't like the way it looks. I think it just sits too high up on the neck, and that's really my problem with it. You know, for those that have a Dremel, know how to use that, they probably Dremel out a little bit in there and make it sit lower on the neck. Because even look, the hood sits way over high above the shoulders and should really be resting on the shoulders. I'm probably not going to display it with this hood because I just don't think it looks as good. But there it is there. Looking at the rest of the figure, a little bit of white smudges there, not that big of a deal. Those white lines there definitely don't line up. I wonder how that... Oh, yeah, they're not really lined up on the front either. Huh. They're not really symmetrical, right? Or is it just me playing my eyes? Definitely not in the back. In the front, they don't really look symmetrical either. You can see how super thin her legs are. She's got the turquoise chucks. They opted for chucks instead of ballet shoes. She doesn't even have peg holes on the bottom of her feet because her feet are just that small. And look how thin. Like, that's compared to Miles. Thinner than Miles's leg. Tiny feet compared to Miles as well. So, it's just scary. But looking at the web pattern looks really good. The turquoise over the pink. I like it. I like it a lot. Looks good. Looks good. In terms of accessories, she has these open hands. So she only has one whip hand, which sucks. One fist. And then she's got these open hands, and you can see the web pattern on there. Those look pretty good. Here's the other one. And then, of course, she has the hood accessory. And then here's the unmasked head sculpt, which I'm going to see if I can fit the previous Gwen Stacy, because I really like this head sculpt. And maybe it's not as accurate. She has shorter hair, but then, you know, she had to get her hair cut in that movie, in the first movie, and then you can actually see the differences in the suit design, right? But I'm going to see if maybe this new head, the old head, could fit on the new one. It looks like this one had a large ball peg also, which I can't even remove this head. Maybe I won't, since I can't seem to remove the head. Damn, it feels like it's all loose on there now. What the hell? Oh, got it. But here, this one is the one that, like, I'm just so scared to try and remove it. Like, you can't really move the head back because of the way the hood is designed. But if you look in there, you see how the plastic's already bowing out? Like, it just scares me. But you just have to have faith. Oh, I'm not going to lie, that scared the shit out of me. But we're all good. We're all good. And then I felt more force because you had to pull the ball peg out because, again, it's not really, like, designed in there very well. But the web pattern inside the hood, I wish I could see it more, but the lighting, it's just, I don't think I get lighting in there properly because of the hood and stuff. Let me see. The web pattern in there is done beautifully, and then it's covered up with the head sculpt. That is a shame because it is just done really nice. Let's see, I'm trying to get the light in there. Yeah, you can see it. Just looks really, 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 really good. Really, really like it. So just a heads up on that. Let's see if this old one... Ooh, the old one does, but damn, that doesn't really work. That could have worked. Ah, see, I forgot the hood accessory again! I'm going to keep switching out these heads on this ball peg. That scares the hell out of me. This could work, but it sits really high on there. It just doesn't sit very well. So that is unfortunate. Let me remember this piece. This is the hood piece, so you can see when she's unmasked, she would have the hood down, of course. And then let's get the new head sculpt on there. And then it looks okay. It just doesn't look as good. This reminds me of like an anime figure. As you can see, it's a big difference, right? She has a little bit more of a tan to her. It just doesn't look as good. You can see the way the hair, like the hair is a separate piece on the face. It doesn't look as good. Whereas on this previous one, the short hair part that she had buzzed off, right? That's part of the sculpt on there and then painted. But here, it's just a separate piece. So you see a little bit of separation there. And it's a little distracting, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, she's got some pink color in her hair. A little bit of shading in there. In my opinion, just doesn't look as good, but you guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think? Again, I don't think it looks as good. You can see the eyebrow piercing still there, so that's pretty good. But yeah, in my opinion, it's just not as good, but maybe it's just me, but I don't like it as much. But anyway, that is how the Spider-Gwen figure looks. Let's go ahead and check out her articulation. Okay, so Gwen Stacy's articulation is, the head is on a not a dumbbell joint, a disc hinge. If I could spit it out so she can't look down that much. She's not going to be able to look up because the hair is going to hit her back. You get full rotation in there, of course, and not really any pivot going on. The shoulder, you can get to go up and out that much, which is pretty good. You get a full rotation in there, of course. Upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed pinless elbow. So here we have the thinnest arms ever, and we still get a double jointed pinless elbow, so that is good. You get that much bend there. Really nice. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. Standard horizontal hinge on the fist, the thwip hand, and the two open hands. Diaphragm cut on Gwen Stacy, so she could tilt to her right that much. She could tilt to her left that much. She can go back a little bit. She can come forward. Very, very, very little. That sucks. Swivel at the diaphragm cut. Legs go out that far apart. She can kick forward that far. Leg doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there, and they printed the damn serial number on the inside of the thigh. Why didn't they do it on the back of the leg? Double jointed pinless knee. That is a beautiful articulated knee there. That came out really good. Doesn't look ugly. It's very natural looking. Foot hinges all the way down. You get some hinge up. Ankle pivot. No peg holes on the bottom of the feet. And the tiniest feet ever, to where I always have a hard time getting her to stand. But first try that time. Every other time it takes me like 15 seconds to set her up. But there we go. Believe it or not, this is actually our third Spider-Gwen figure for the Spider-Verse movie. So we had the two for Into the Spider-Verse. This was the Target exclusive 2-pack with Miles that had extremely little effort put into it. It was basically the comic figures just repainted to semi-look like the movie. They included the Gwen Stacy figure, the comic figure as the head sculpt. They had the Miles comic figure as the head sculpt. It was just not a well-executed 2-pack. It was decent at the time because it was, Sony movie. We didn't get figures for any Sony movies or anything like that. So, at the time, it's like, oh, well, that's all we're going to get. And then, boom, they hit us with the Miles. They hit us with the Peter Parker. Then they hit us with the Spider-Gwen. Later on, we got Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Ham came with this Gwen Stacy. And this was a huge improvement, as you could tell from this one. But now we have this one, which really fits the style of the Spider-Verse movie. So, as good as this one is, this one technically is going to fit better with the other ones. It's just that this one is a more sturdy and stable figure versus this new one. Okay, so here are our Spider people from this Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie wave. We got the Peter B. Parker, Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Punk, and Spider-Man 2099. Miguel O'Hara, Hobie Brown, Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, Peter B. Parker. And then to throw in the spot, let me go ahead and take out these spider guys. Here are probably going to be our main three. Although I don't know how big a villain the Spot's really going to be in the movie. I mean, we'll see. The new trailer came out. So I don't know. I know they put some attention and focus on the Spot that we haven't seen yet, but he doesn't seem like he's going to be the big villain of the movie. He seems like he's just going to have a part in the movie. And that the big conflict is going to be whatever's going on with the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 2099 taking charge and leading the way and not trusting Miles for something or worried about what Miles might do or whatever the case may be. We don't really know yet. We don't get a whole lot of information. But it was cool for, in terms of Easter eggs. Spoilers if you haven't seen the trailer. But the MCU Spider-Man No Way Home reference that was in there was pretty damn cool because, he mentioned Doctor Strange and the little nerd from Earth 19999. I forget how many nines, but that's the comic Earth designation for the MCU. Obviously, in the MCU, they designate themselves as Earth 616. But if you're reading the comics and you have Earth 1999999, that's the MCU, and that's what Miguel O'Hara said. So that was actually really cool that they kind of name dropped and did that. But yeah, I forgot to mention when I had all the Spider people here together. Let me kind of throw them back in here. This Spider-Gwen figure, it's good, but again, it's thin, it's stylized. She has difficulty standing, so depending on like pose that you might get her in, it's going to be hard because she's got little feet. You know, Spider-Punk has the benefit of having these massive boots on him. Spider-Man 2099, his feet are smaller compared to his large body, so it kind of makes it tough a little bit. But having all the figures together, they look really good. And I think that's like kind of the thing, right? And I know people are going to piece out what figures they want. Well, I mean, a lot of people are probably just going to skip the entire wave altogether. But, you know, on this particular wave, you know, if you piece it out, they just, in my opinion, they don't look as good. When you have them all together, that's when they really look good because they all, you know, have a very similar style to them. So they fit in well together, but these are going to have a hard time fitting in with your other Marvel Legends figures because of how stylized they are. Peter B. Parker, you could probably get away with it because it's not too bad. It's just weird because he's wearing sweatpants and he has bare feet and no spider lines, although we've gotten plenty of Spider-Man figures without web lines on them, unfortunately. But again, I think this is one. You have all of them together, it's going to look great. There's a bunch of other Spider-Mans that's going to be in the movie. I don't know if we're going to get figures for those. You know, we didn't even see the Cyborg Spider-Woman in the trailer. At least I don't recall seeing her. But we saw so many other Spider-Mans, and some that I feel like are going to get a fair amount of screen time. And unfortunately, I guess we're not going to get those figures unless we start to see some store exclusives happen. We'll see. You know, maybe they'll get revealed. You know, these didn't get revealed until just, you know, a week ago or whenever it is, and they go on sale April 10th. But maybe it's wishful thinking. We'll see. But you guys let me know in the comments below all your thoughts on this wave. What do you think of this Spider-Gwen figure? I know she's one that people are really excited for, and she's a good figure, don't get me wrong. She really is. But again, beware, swapping out those heads are scary as hell. And her legs are super thin, so it's just going to be hard to get her to stand and stay in poses. I don't feel like the legs are going to break. Nothing's going to do that. They're not gummy in any way. They actually hold up pretty well compared to like Miles' legs had a little too much flexibility in them, in my opinion. Gwen really doesn't suffer from that, so that's nothing to be worried about there. But again, it's like, do you like the style that these figures are in? Because they're not your typical Marvel Legends figure. But again, you guys let me know in the comments below your thoughts on it. If you're picking them up, are you excited for the movie? What did you think of the latest trailer? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys liked this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU Collective. And as always, thank you for watching.